Hey, I'm Tirza, and I'm so excited you're here. And welcome to video one of my three-part series, Let Go to Let Grow. So we're going to be covering quite a bit of content in these next three videos, so I hope you're listening closely. They're only about 10 to 15 minutes long each, and so if I can have your attentive attention or focused attention for that time, that would be awesome, because you're going to really want to use this stuff in your life. And I really believe that I'm giving you some really useful content. So a little bit more about what I do through Golden Pine Creative. I help you create confidence using art and adventure to unearth what holds you living back from living a meaningful life. And you're like, whoa, what does that mean? That sounds really exciting, or that sounds really terrifying. Either way, I do this mainly through my year-long program, which I'm really, really passionate about. I believe that real change happens through a year-long journey. And so my program, Lanterns, I take people and I help them rediscover what that meaning is for them So I take people and I help them rediscover what that meaning is in their life and how to apply it and to find joy again. So it's kind of like a sabbatical year. It's really exciting, and it really is transforming to people's lives into finding their purpose again. Finally getting started on that thing they were really fearful about. It's a year of sabbatical to take time to rest and unplug. I encourage a lot of outdoor time, and we do a lot of guided art exercises as well. So it's a pretty exciting thing. I'm really passionate about it. You're going to hear me talk a lot about it because I really believe that in order to have transformational change, you have to have someone walk beside you and guide you through the terrain of life, through the valleys, through the oceans, through the seasons of winter and through the seasons of summer. And so, that's a little bit about me and kind of what I do. So I'm going to go on to the series and just kind of talk a little bit more about what is in it for you, right? So Let Go to Let Grow is really about taking those first steps. I think before we really see real change in our life, we really have to start to let go of things and let go of control and what we think is good for us. And because we often don't know until we let go of it, and then something better actually comes along, or we exchange that good thing for better, or that bad thing for healing. And so in order to have real change, I think we have to learn to let go. And what I talked about in my email and my intro video, my short video, is just, taking these fallen trees of life, these things that we can't control, or these big decisions that we have in our life, all based around control and decision and that fear, right? Control is really fear in disguise. And so taking that and learning to let go, but also learning to how to react correctly, or how to react in a calm way that really, but not only benefits you, but everyone around you. Because when you start to, take a situation like, let's say your computer crashes, and you're like, you could either react one or two ways. You could blow up, you could have a fit, and it could ruin your whole day, right? And, and that really does no one any good, and doesn't do yourself good, and doesn't do the people around you any good either, because they're going to react to your reaction, right? And so you can choose to act that way, and, I've definitely acted that way before. Didn't get me anywhere. It just, looking back, it's just like, that was really dumb. Why did I act that way? Didn't really get me anywhere. I couldn't do anything in the situation that I was in, and, but, sometimes you have to learn from those things and to take them and to, say, hey, what did I learn, and how am I going to improve the next time, right? You got to forgive yourself. So really, when you start to let go of these things, you allow good things to come back into your life, a sense of ease and peace, and a lot more creativity. When you learn to let go of things and really take things, one at a time, and to really evaluate things calmly, things usually turn out a little better for you. So with the computer crashing scenario, you could look at it as, wow, I just got an opportunity. I just got the day off. I didn't even have to do anything, right? And so there's a huge shift in mindset in that. From, oh my gosh, my life is over, and you just waste the rest of your day thinking your life is over, to, oh my gosh, I just got a free day. Like, thank you, God. Thank you, computer, for crashing, because I just got a free day. I can go to the beach. I can sit in my backyard. I can read my book, or I can do other things that are going to be productive that aren't on the computer. So that's when your creativity comes in. There's no creativity in getting upset and going into this self-pity mode. But there's lots of creativity in saying, okay, well, what else could I do? I need to work on this project. How else can I do it without my computer, right? And so it's really a shift in mindset. And when you learn to do that, like, you find so much more joy in things, and things become a lot easier. You know, life is not meant to be hard. I think we make things really hard, and they're supposed to be easy. You know, so really learning to just kind of take those fallen trees in our life as they're falling in front of us, and to say, hey, what can I learn from this, and how can I grow, and how can I be a better, more creative person, and really exude that joy to others as well. So you're not only benefiting yourself, you're really benefiting others in that way. So always remember that. So, you know, before I started Golden Pine Creative, I had a lot of other businesses. I have been a little entrepreneur since I was 10 years old or so, probably even younger. But I sold jewelry, and I've done all sorts of things. And I thought I was on this path of more of being an artist and more of on the creative side. And so more on the creative side of actually making things and selling them like a product. And so I dove right in head first into that, thinking like, oh, this is it. This is the greatest thing. This is what I'm meant to do. And but I still felt like there was something a little bit more for me, or not just like a little bit more, but maybe just a different direction, because just a different place that I needed to be. But I didn't see that, and I didn't want to see it because I wanted that control, right? And so I held on to this because I'm like, oh, well, this is what I've been doing since I was a little girl, and making and creating things, and this is what people tell me I'm really good at. And so I stuck with it, and really worked myself to the ground, and went to a place of burnout, extreme burnout, a phase of really deep depression. I couldn't get off the couch. It was really hard to motivate myself to really do anything. And I felt like a complete failure because I couldn't really do my business anymore because I just didn't have the energy, because I was doing something that I held so tightly on, and I held so tightly on that I squeezed the life out of it. I didn't see that there was something better for me down the road. And so I kind of fell into this despair. And so, but the moment I learned to let healing voices in, whether from myself or from my people that I love in my inner circle of trust, is that when I finally was able to get out of that fog and really be like, okay, this didn't work. It was devastating, and I still don't want to give it up. But the moment I did, and I let go, and I just kind of, let other things into my life that were better, is when I really started to step into what I'm doing today, which is what I believe is really what I'm called on this earth to do. So that's really exciting. I don't regret having those, experiences, starting and ending and having to restart things. I think there's real beauty in that, and I learned so much in the process of doing the things I did before this to really shape what I'm doing now. So I see those things in my life as opportunity to really grow. And maybe at the time I didn't, but looking back, I'm like, wow, I really grew, and I learned so much. And so I'm really thankful. I wouldn't be who I am today without them, those experiences. And so I think this applies to so many of us as we go through these stages of transition, even if they're big or small, and we really grasp and squeeze the life out of ourselves when we hold on to control for too long. It becomes unhealthy, and we become unhealthy. And let me just tell you something that before I started when I really stepped into what was better for me and exchanged something good, that actually didn't turn out to be so good. I used to get really bad headaches, like really, really bad headaches. I don't know if they were migraines, but they were close because I couldn't really leave the house. I couldn't go to school. They were really bad when I was in college and after I graduated as well. And looking back, those were times I was really stuffing down my authentic self and what I really believed, and I just kind of pushed it aside and like, oh, well, that's not gonna work. I can't do that. I have to move forward. But I get these horrific headaches. I mean, days. Like, it wouldn't matter what I took, what kind of medication I took, or what I did. I mean, like, I tried everything. Hanging my head off the side of my bed and hot pads on my head and feet in cold water. I mean, I tried everything. But looking back now, like, I don't think I've had a headache since I really started what I know is the best thing for me. And so that's pretty cool. So if you don't think it affects you physically, it does. It does. It does. It totally does. Your mind and your body are connected in ways that you wouldn't even believe. And I really think those things are connected. And there's a reason why I don't get headaches anymore. It's because I've let go of that control. I've let go of what other people think of me. I've let go of what the beliefs of the world have been reflected on me. I've let go of a lot of things, and it's allowed me to really be healthier being, really, honestly. So, I've included some really cool cards. I love to post cards around my house. I just post them with you can get some really cool washi tape or whatever from Target or Michael's. And, to make them cute, or you can, color on them or do whatever, but they're just blank and they say 4 different things. And so I encourage you to put them on your wall, like in your bathroom or next to your bed. I have one next to my bed. When I get up, I see it. I have one in the kitchen while I'm cooking, if where you're going to see it. And so just little reminders that just to take moments to really take a breath when you are triggered by something, especially something you can't control, and taking time to be like, okay, how can I react to this? What can I do? So the 4 little cards say, what can I learn from this? Right, reflecting. Something happened. Okay, what can I learn? What can I get out of this? Even if it's one little thing, it gets you to be thankful for that and be like, okay, it wasn't for nothing. And you always have a choice. And I think we tend to say a lot, oh, I have no choice. You always have a choice. And to remind you of that you always have a choice how you react. You always have a choice how you act on that. And just a reminder that we always have a choice. We always do. So important. And the 3rd card says, shift your mindset and embrace fallen trees. And so it's just learning to see fallen trees as opportunities and not as fallen trees. So it's really just shifting your mindset and be like, okay, this happened. I can either mope and grope about it, or I can be like, yay, this is so exciting. I get to start something new. I get to learn something new. And, it's hard to think that. I know, there's some things you're like, no, Tirza, that would never, I could never react that way. Because there's some really hard things that happen in our life. And I understand that. Sickness, illness, some really serious things that happen, but I think it applies to those things as well, and forgiving yourself and allowing yourself to react, but also having time to reflect, because that's how you're going to really process these things and have joy, and no matter your circumstances, because I think that's really what it comes down to. And then the fourth card says manage your reaction. And I've been talking about that a lot. Just really managing the reaction, no matter what it is. Just being like, okay, what react. Think of that word when that happens. When you're triggered by something, think react. And you're going to be like, okay, how do I react to this? How do I manage it? Take a moment before you explode or you internalize. Right, you shut down. So take a moment before those instincts kicked in, right? The external or the shutdown. Take a moment to be like, okay, how am I going to react? What's a healthy way to approach this? So those cards are for you. They're attached and they're in a file, and I really encourage you to print them and put them around your house and just see how they transform your thinking. Just kind of how when those triggering things happen during the day, things you can't control or big decisions in your life, how much more joy happens when it'll really learn to shift that mindset. So I'm excited to see. I'd love to hear your experiences with these. I'd love to hear that. I'd love to see them on your wall. If you take a picture and post in the Facebook group or send it to me, that would be so fun. Or on the Facebook page, I meant. I would love to see those. So, and then the next video, I'm going to talk about that real quick. I'm going to be giving you a really hands-on worksheet that you're going to really want to use. And it's all about control, like breaking it down, the control boxes. And, I'm going to give you a few different stories on each quadrant and what they mean for your life. And so it's going to be super useful. There's going to be a worksheet attached to that as well. But it's going to really go through what is control, what does it look like, how can we better ourselves and to continue to react and act in a more thoughtful way. So thank you for listening, and I will see you in the next video. So I'm super excited. All right.